on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about Black Ops 7 Zombies and what the future may hold for the next couple of months. Definitely stay tuned. But as you guys are likely aware, around almost a week ago, I did make a video talking about some brand new information regarding the next Call of Duty. It looks like a playtester took to Reddit to talk a little bit about what he learned regarding campaign, multiplayer, and zombies with the next Black Ops installment. I talked a little bit about zombies in that video, but figured I'd make a follow-up video just focusing on zombies, since there's some pretty crazy discussion that could be had regarding the new leaked information. Like I've also been saying though, I think COD 2025 is a little bit of a tough game to market right now, at least from a content creation perspective, since from my observation, it looks like a lot of folks out there do believe Modern Warfare 4 is going to be the next Call of Duty. If you look at how the usual developer cycle typically worked, I don't think anybody out there is expecting back-to-back Black Ops games, let alone back-to-back Treyarch titles. But real quick, massive credit and shout out to both Verco and Zella for the TranZit reimagined gameplay that you guys are seeing in the background. They're both working on different versions of TranZit for Black Ops 3. I believe there's quite a few remakes of TranZit coming to that game through the Steam Workshop at some point soon, and that's where I pulled all this footage from. Lots of videos can be found on YouTube already, and if you want to check out their YouTube channels to see progress on these reimaginings, their channels are going to be linked down below. But considering this is a zombies video, don't forget you can also use code Dynamite to save 12% off any order on Control Freak, including for the brand new Speed Cola Collector's Can. Inside you get some thumbsticks, and don't forget about the Speed Cola Weapon Charm for use in any game mode. Again, that's 12% off any order when you use code Dynamite, especially for this brand new limited edition drop. I do want to start with addressing that cutscene from Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, the opening cinematic that premiered many months before the launch of the game. I'm also seeing a lot of comments as of lately suggesting that we're going to be seeing a round-based map in BO6 that either takes place in Urzikstan or leads us to the events where our crew ends up dying. Now, I do have a separate and a bit of a scripted follow-up story video that is going to be breaking down more to do with Shattered Veil and what it's setting up for the rest of BO6. That'll be coming out in the next couple of days, but taking a look at how Black Ops 6 focuses on the 1990s, the early 90s I should say, I really don't believe that either in Janus Towers or a map after that, we're somehow going to be going to 1996, where the events do take place, where Dr. Gray becomes a surrogate, Ava Jansen is born. I don't think that's where we're going in Black Ops 6, nor do I believe that what was teased in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies is really meant to connect to BO6 all that much. Obviously, you could see the mansion in the mirror within the ending of MW3 Zombies, but I do believe what that is implying and teasing has more to do with Black Ops 7 more so than BO6, which I know some folks out there are going to disagree with. But to also go into when we can all speculate Black Ops 7 is going to be revealed, let alone zombies, let's think about that for a second. So they've already announced that they're going to be doing an Xbox Showcase event in June again, but there is a panel after that showcase that is focused on Outer Worlds. Last year, the panel after the Xbox Showcase was all about Black Ops 6, so it doesn't look like, at least not right now, that we're going to be seeing a full Call of Duty live stream after an Xbox event that dives deep for like an hour going over what to expect with the next game. But I think it would be fun to see something teased on around June 19th when Menendez is supposed to have that video go up on YouTube in the year 2025. I think that is a likely day when something will happen, but I do want to mention that the schedule for revealing the next Call of Duty could actually be tied to the current round-based map schedule. So from my understanding here, and based on the rumors that are out there, we aren't going to be seeing another round-based map after Janus Towers. It doesn't look like there's any evidence out there from any leaker that suggests that there is another map after DLC 4. So if that's the case, I just doubt the map is going to get released in Season 4, even though they've been on a roll with dropping a map every season. I get it, I hear you, but what I think is going to happen here is we'll end up seeing a bunch of good gameplay-related updates, some new items, LTMs, and all of that good stuff within Season 4, while the next round-based map is saved for Season 5. And what that would allow for, right, if Season 4 does begin on, let's say, May 29th, which is what the current Battle Pass timer suggests, you'll essentially have just about all of the month of June and most of July to maybe set up, tease, and market the next Black Ops a little bit, then drop the last round-based map in Season 5, end it there, and then with Season 6, we'll obviously get a big haunting update for all game modes, including zombies, and before you know it, there'll be a beta for the next game, possibly COD next, and then the release of the new Call of Duty. But the playtester I referenced earlier did take to Reddit to mention quite a bit of details about zombies, but it is worth mentioning, and I did bring this up in my recent BO7 video. The person claims they aren't all that in tune with Call of Duty, meaning they don't understand a lot of the lore with the game. For example, they mentioned that Mason is back, but I think it's pretty easily understood by a lot of hardcores that that person's referring to David Mason through what is likely going to be some sort of flashback missions in Avalon, or David Mason in the future, right? They spent all of BO6 claiming that Alex is dead. I don't think they're going to walk back on that for the new game, but apart from that, it is very easy for this individual to have misinterpreted information that he wrote in this Reddit post. And we'll get into what I believe in a second, but it looks like, according to him, we're going to be seeing the return of the original crew as multiverse variations. We're talking Dempsey, Nikolai, Takio, and maybe another Richtofen, unless the current Janus Richtofen that we have in BO6 ends up joining that crew somehow. I mean, if written correctly, then totally open to it. But if we're dealing with the consequences of a voice actor strike where iconic characters are getting recast, or if we're dealing with a case where the story itself isn't really written strongly enough, nor does it go in the right direction, then I don't think it's worth bringing back the original characters until we have some absolute fanatics behind the scenes with a pen on paper writing the future of the Dark Ether storyline. But hey, the narrative has gotten a lot stronger since the Shattered Veil, so if Janus Towers ends on a real good note for BO6, then I would love to see what direction the team could go with the return of our beloved characters who haven't been seen since, what, Tagged or Toten? And I also think it's highly possible that Treyarch may have had a certain narrative plan for BO6 and didn't know they had to do a whole other Call of Duty a year later, so they had to spread whatever story they had real thin, stretched across an extra year, which could explain why certain round-based maps like the Tomb have lacked a lot of intel or have lacked a lot of character dialogue on top of, or what you could consider a cherry on top to, the fact that there is a voice actor strike and a lot of characters have been replaced. But this individual did mention that there is a TranZit remake in Black Ops 7 Zombies. Now, I've already given my take on this info at least a couple of days ago where I said, hey, I don't believe this is correct, and I get it, people have been talking about a TranZit remake for years. I mean, I personally chased that story quite a bit during the end of BO4 cycle and way before Cold War. There was lots of evidence and many reasons to believe that there was going to be an actual Chronicles 2 in Black Ops 4, and honestly, that was the game that I believe could have marked the very last time you would have ever saw an actual Chronicles 2 based on the engine they were working on, and also based on the fact that we were still on this map pack-like structure. Today, I just can't see how our Chronicles 2 would ever work, let alone the fact that we're on a whole different engine now, so it looks like every map would technically have to be remade all over again from scratch. But I do believe we'll see a day where remakes of older Zombies maps do get released, whether it's pre-order bonuses, whether it's random updates in between the live seasons, or whether they charge you for it in a big map pack again, which I know would kind of go against the current Warzone era of Call of Duty. I just don't believe that the launch of Black Ops 7 has a TranZit remake. Maybe this person overheard some chatter while playtesting and some folks were like, hey, this is TranZit or this is like TranZit, and then this individual ran with it. I just don't think it's a TranZit remake. But hey, if I'm wrong, fantastic. That would be great to see how they can redo Green Run on the brand new engine, likely with new characters and new Easter eggs that could breathe some fresh air on what was honestly a map that was ahead of its time, way ahead of its time on the PS3 and Xbox 360. But something also worth remembering, if this giant map isn't for you, let's say you're not a fan of bigger spaces, if there's 6 maps rumored for Black Ops 7, another round-based map could be bundled with the launch, let alone Dead Ops Arcade 4, which I think is highly likely to come out since we've seen another iteration of Dead Ops every other Black Ops game. But my gut kind of tells me that they're probably shaping out BO7 to also have 4 DLC maps, even though we'd all prefer much more. Even if the life cycle of BO7 Zombies goes beyond 2026, nobody would complain about the game getting extra content, but I don't think we'd end up seeing any support past Season 6. But what gets me here is that this person mentions Wonder vehicles, and we've technically seen one type of Wonder vehicle so far, and that was with the bike, the Ether bike in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. What if one of these Wonder vehicles in the new big round-based map in BO7 is the TranZit bus, yet you can also drive other Wonder vehicles like trucks or other motorcycles or fast cars, ATVs. We really don't know, but it's possible. Maybe the OG TranZit bus pops up as a drivable vehicle through an Easter egg, and a person saw that and said, wow, we're actually playing TranZit again. Now, regardless, hearing about vehicles really has me thinking that, yeah, this map is going to be massive, but it's considered round-based. It's not going to be considered Outbreak, but it honestly could be something like what Vanguard introduced, which is a hybrid between round-based and Outbreak. I feel like this map will lean more so towards just regular round-based with side Easter eggs and a main quest, but it's totally possible that it dives a little bit into what MW3 did with contracts or various side objectives or whatever the case may be that's kind of in line with Cold War's Outbreak or Modern Warfare's DMZ. Now, to build on this, the individual also mentioned a difficulty toggle, and it's funny because we've already seen this through Black Ops 4 Zombies, and I'm really interested with what the post-launch season will look like for Black Ops 7 in particular, because that will be a set of, 6 seasons of support for this new Zombies, where Treyarch doesn't necessarily have to worry about pumping out a whole other Call of Duty right away within a number of months, right? I mean, Black Ops 6 thus far has offered some great post-launch content, no doubt. I mean, could there be improvements? Absolutely. Could events be better? Yes. But I want to really see what Treyarch will do with the post-launch seasons of Black Ops 7, whether they update this big giant map at launch or just really update the mode with plenty of other round-based maps and other game modes later on in the year without being stretched on time or worried about a game that has to come out in under a year. But the last thing I'll end with is circling back to that rumor about the 6 other round-based maps that were leaked out. There were mentions of Afghanistan, Vietnam, New York, a volcano, something in Japan, a Dark Ether space station, some really out there ideas that can honestly make Black Ops 7 Zombies a much bigger experience on every scale imaginable than Black Ops 6. Let's cross our fingers though, and maybe it's possible that BO7 could really up the stakes with all the content we're going to be getting because of what I said before, which is that Treyarch won't be pressed on time worrying about another COD. And again, things could always change to where all of a sudden they got to work on a ranked play for Modern Warfare 4. They got to make a zombies mode for Sledgehammer's COD 2027. I mean, things like that could still happen, which would be truly unfortunate, but I'm really curious to see what direction Zombies goes with Black Ops 7 and beyond. And it seems like we're going to be going back to the multiverse with BO7, so that's why I'm thinking those rumors and good narrative theories that the Shadow Smiths want to bring back the multiverse, which could in turn revive the OG characters, that could really take things in an interesting direction that I don't think a lot of people are on board with yet, because they want to see the execution of how Black Ops 6 ends up hopefully sticking the landing with the current Dark Ether story. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on everything we know so far about Black Ops 7 Zombies releasing in a couple of months from now? I mean, around 6, but we'll have to wait and see what the release date even looks like for this game, considering that we have massive titles dropping during the fall. We're thinking about Marathon, Borderlands 4, what could be Grand Theft Auto 6, and even what could be another Battlefield. Who actually knows? With that being said, really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.